guys, how's it going? This is Lou from Adrift in Tokyo, and I'm back after 1 week. I'm trying to keep to my 1 week, one blog post a week, and it's still winter here in Tokyo. It's crazy, but I wanted to take a moment to talk a little bit about Term One and how things had gone with the Hitotsubashi MBA. I know a lot of people are either doing applications right now or they're finalizing their applications for the MBA. I figured this would be a good time to talk about my review, my experience, because I think more times than not, people who have good experiences, they don't let their voices heard. A lot of times people with poor experiences, they become the vocal minority in any kind of situation. So and that's my opinion. So you'll see, more often than not, if someone's pissed off at a program or upset with something, you see this with company reviews as well, and they'll let their voice be heard. But if you're having a good time, things are going well, the amount of energy that you put into letting a good review go out there is lower in my opinion. So I want to make it a point to get in front of the camera and give my kind of honest review, what worked, what didn't work, and let you guys know so you make a good decision on your MBA in Japan, Asia, the US. So that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk a little bit about my experiences before I jump in with my MBA. Talk about the overall program, the diversity, the respect, the quality of the teachers, kind of all that good stuff. And then I'm going to go into a few things like what I'm going to be doing this weekend, next weekend, and what else is on the horizon. So without further ado, if you guys are just tuning in recently, my background is basically I've been working out in industry for 8 years, and I've been really interested in getting these MBAs. So I've got getting an MBA, man. You wouldn't know it, but I've been working for a while, and I am from America, so you wouldn't know that as well with the way I speak. But funny enough, I've been in a lot of instances. I worked for a huge company in the U.S. I've been abroad. I've worked abroad. I feel like I've had enough experiences to know, with certain systems in place, whether or not, a program is of high quality, or if there are certain things that are lacking, kind of they're skimping on, or it doesn't feel right. You know that vibe that you get when you start a program or start a job or meet someone, and through your experiences, you just know whether or not this is going to be good or bad. So I've had a lot of experiences to teach me how to, hone that skill. I've been, like I said, through a number of experiences within a large company. I've worked abroad. I've been the minority in countries. I've been mistreated, because I've been the minority. Like in Singapore, for example, if you're European or an American, you've got to negotiate a little bit harder in certain areas because they will actually try to charge you more compared to locals for certain goods and whatnot. So you kind of have to be a little bit savvy there. Now, is that a big deal? Probably not. But I've had a number of experiences. So I'm coming from a background, I feel that I can give you an honest and specific review of the Hitotsubashi MBA in Term 1. So let's go through details. Term 1, again, is basically the foundation term for the Hitotsubashi MBA. 1 year and 2 year students take the same required set of classes. Again, marketing, accounting, quantitative business analysis, organizational behavior, etc. We take these classes together, and it is a jam-packed term. Term 1, you've got multiple projects that you're going through, and overall, it's go, go, go. As you probably could tell, when I was trying to get blog posts up, I didn't have a chance to do much, in terms of detail or even explore around Tokyo. So, from an overall perspective, the program does put a lot on you. I've already mentioned that the program is heavily modeled after Harvard Business School. So even if you just want to go right onto branding and names right off the bat, which I don't necessarily believe in, right off the bat, whenever you associate your program and try to link it with Harvard or schools of that caliber, you're going to get, I would expect a certain level of quality. And I wasn't disappointed. You've got a number of cases that follow classic Harvard Business School classes. I've got friends and relatives who have gone to Harvard Business School, and through friends of a friend, hey, what's the class like at Harvard? This is my experience here. Very, very similar. So you're getting an education here at Hitotsubashi for literally a fraction of the price, and you're in another country. You're within a great atmosphere of international students and teachers. So, in an overall sense, that vibe that I got at the very, very beginning before I started classes, that vibe turned out to be true in the sense that I thought, hey, this feels like a good program. The teachers that I've spoke to seem like they know what they're talking about. They seem like they've come from industry, and yet they've got quite a bit of business edge to them. Whereas, as I mentioned in previous blog posts, when I talked to folks at Doshisha or even exchange emails with Waseda, I didn't get the same feeling. So a lot of the overall gut feels that I had kind of linked together and turned out to be true. In terms of, I've always mentioned a lot of work. Now, any program can just dump a lot of work on you. But as I mentioned, and I'm looking at my notes over here, not only you've got the case study that you're following in Hitotsubashi, which is basically reading a report on a company and a situation they're in, and you've got to put yourself in the mindset, in the shoes of the management to call the shots, whether it's an accounting issue, marketing, finance, whatever. So they're not only throwing cases on you, which really any school could do. If you wanted to create an MBA program, you can just everyone knows what classes you got to take. You got to take marketing, accounting, finance, etc. Go up on Harvard Business School, find a bunch of cases, split them out over a semester, term, whatever, and you've got your cases. But in addition to these cases that you're doing, you've got regular lectures that you talk through. Not only the cases, but it could be textbook material, it could be handouts that the teachers have just recently pulled out of the news, and then you've got your group projects and things on top of that. And so it's not, I never got the feeling that we were going through the motion. We had teachers doing a lot of work on feedback that they received the previous year. And if that's one thing I would like to highlight about the Hitotsubashi MBA, is that they do take feedback very seriously. I cannot emphasize that enough. I think there were at least two teachers that I think of right off the top of my head who tried something different this year, completely different in like exercises and group activities based on a specific comment from a previous student to fix the quality of the program. And when I say fix, I mean not that something was broken, but I said, you know what, we would have liked to see more of this. And you know what? They did more of that. And so that's one positive in my mind. They are listening to students. They want to improve the program. They want to be a better program. And they're not just going through the motions. They're not copying and pasting last year's curriculum, putting it over here and last year's schedule and saying, that's it. So quality, the work, I mean, I've been through rigorous chemical engineering programs. I did a master's while working full-time, and I've been with an international company, working around the world. So I feel I'm not an expert on this, but I've got a pretty good perspective on how to judge quality and rigor in a program. And so I would challenge you, if you've had other MBA programs, to say that that's either it exceeds the quality of this Japanese MBA, because I would defend it. I would defend it strongly that this program is quite high in quality, and you've got a lot of things to do to kind of keep you engaged, etc. So that's in terms of the work, the rigor, and the projects that you go through. Then I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of the softer things that go on. One minor, pet peeve that I had is, we're quite a small school. I knew this coming in. And you've got to deal with, and you've got to kind of understand that there are certain things that are not going to happen as quickly as you'd expect, but they try very hard. For example, You're not. Yeah, when I was looking for a house, basically, the school cannot help you find a house. They've got great resources, but I had to work very, very hard to find an apartment. I had previous blog posts on how frustrating that was. The school did offer a dormitory, which I rejected, so that was on me. But if you're going to come into, and I'm not sure if the other Japanese MBA programs are any different, but I would doubt that they are. If you're going to come in here and say, you know what, I'm going to land in Tokyo, I'm going to find a sweet apartment, it's going to be great, I'm going to have all the help in the world, I don't think it's going to be like that because my experience wasn't like that. And I had a lot of help from local people, a little bit of help from the school, and I kind of had to work things in there. So you're not going to get the same level of support that you may have gotten in your undergraduate, graduate schools, etc., in the U.S., Europe, Asia. So you're dealing with the small size of it. But again, those have other benefits that I may not be mentioning, like you're going to be closer to the faculty. You get to know everyone in the admin staff, and they're wonderful people. And when you get down to it, no one really means any ill will. They respond as fast as they can, and they do whatever they can. So overall, small pet peeve there. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so.